Good morning, Frank. Glad to have you in here, Frank. You're the only person that's in this chat right now. We're going to go through the market, see what's going on. I'm glad to have you first. I'm glad to have you last. I'm glad to have you in here, man. We get AMC in the top left-hand side of the screen sitting at $2.72. GameStop sitting at $27.05, down 1.5% of the day today. Shiba Inu Coin, bottom right-hand side of the screen, down 1.22%. It is sitting at $13.38 per share. 1338 points per coin, not per share. Bitcoin sitting at $93,750 per coin. It is very, very high from where it's been over the last couple of weeks here, but pulling back a little bit on the day today, down 0.23%. NASDAQ having a pretty hard day. It is in the red, 1.25% lower after a lot of volatility. We've got Solana sitting at 146. We got Dogecoin, 17.5 cents. Shiba Inu Coin, 13.37. Ethereum, 17.61. Bitcoin sitting at $93,701. The SPY down 0.79%. QQQ, 466. Mullen Auto, 60 cents. It is on its way back down to 20 cents. Nobody touched this stock. Man, last July, it was at $800,000. Last July, it was at $1.4 million. Dude, what a wild ride Mullen Auto has been on. This is the worst stock. I think this is the worst stock in the history of the stock market. Sundial sitting at $1.44, $1.45. Netflix, $1,094. Tesla, $273, down 4% on the day today. Amazon sitting at $185, down 1.70%. Apple, $207, and Soxel, 6% loss to $6, or 6.44% loss to $11.55 per share. Let's see if we get anybody else in the chat right now. We got Gorilla and Jason in the chat as well. Glad to have both you guys in here at the moment. Hello, bros, bro fam. We got 3 people in the chat so far. If I don't know, if people don't show up, guys, we could definitely take the day off today. I know I took the day off on Friday to go pass out snow cones, but I don't know, it is nice outside. We can go hang out outside as crypto's going down today, and then make a comeback tomorrow as things are bouncing back up, or whenever they do bounce back up. Let's see. Clint, what do you know about this XRP ETF approval? So, as far as I know, no spot ETFs have been approved yet. We've got futures ETFs and stuff like that. May 22nd, or end of May, I believe, was when Grayscale needed to have its approval by, from the last that I read, for a spot ETF. Now, derivatives are a little bit different in these futures ETFs. They're a little bit different than a spot ETF. So as far as I know, they do not need to own XRP one for one. So if you buy XRP in a spot ETF, the ETF is supposed to hold XRP in the same quantity. You buy 100 shares of the ETF, you should have 100 shares of XRP, 100 coins of XRP. Derivatives would be different. So they don't need to own it one for one in a futures ETF. So as far as I know, that's the difference. And as far as I know, there are no spot ETFs on XRP at the moment. Quick crash course on your last video you just posted. Last video I just posted on Shiba Inu Coin, I believe, was the one where Bitcoin is expected to reach $2.4 million by 2030. So ARK Invest is, Cathie Wood. I'm sure you've heard of Cathie Wood, been around for a while now. They had a lot of videos on her back in 2021 and everything, when everything was running up and all that. So Cathie Wood runs ARK Invest. It's basically an investment company. They go out and they buy different things, and they've got a price prediction for Bitcoin. So very similar to what Michael Saylor believes. Cathie Wood believes, and ARK Invest believes, that Bitcoin is, best case scenario, going to be $2.4 million per coin in 2030. Middle of the line scenario, $1.2 million per coin in 2030. Worst case scenario, $500,000 per coin in 2030. Now, of course, all of that could come true, or they could be wrong, right? So those are their price predictions. That's what those analysts believe Bitcoin will be worth in 2030. So anywhere between $500,000 a coin to $2.4 million per coin. Right now, Shiba Inu Coin has a 0.89 or an 89% correlation to Bitcoin. Meaning if Bitcoin moves, Shiba Inu Coin is moving, 89% of what Bitcoin moves. So based on that, if Bitcoin is going to 25x to get to a level of $2.4 million, the article said that Shiba Inu Coin could 25x as well, following the same correlation. Therefore, Shiba Inu Coin would essentially be sitting at 37,000 points per coin. Now, if that's the case, right, I will say this. Just go buy Bitcoin, right? If you're going to 25x your money in Bitcoin or you're going to 25x your money in Shiba Inu Coin, just go buy Bitcoin. It would make no sense at all to own any other asset than Bitcoin if we only had that one-to-one correlation. So, because of course, Shiba Inu Coin is a greater risk. And with that greater risk should come greater reward. Now, do I believe that Shiba Inu Coin will only ever move in one-to-one correlation with Bitcoin? No. I think that Shiba Inu Coin during bull market scenarios, and I believe any meme coin during bull market scenarios, should outpace Bitcoin. And one of the ways that we can see that, and rather easily, if you come out and you look at Bitcoin over the last week. Bitcoin in the last week, daily is basically non-existent today, but Bitcoin over the last week, 6% gains. If you look at some of the meme coins over the last week, right? Dogecoin, 15% gains. Shiba Inu Coin is right there at 6% gains. But come on, keep coming down, and let's just go to meme coins. But these higher risk assets should produce higher rewards. So Dogecoin over the last week, 8%. 8%, very similar. Trump, though, is up 73%. Bonk, 53%. Fartcoin, 25%. Floki, 26%. 122% for Pudgy Penguins. Brett, 70%. Dog with Fat, 35%. So what you should expect in a riskier asset is a higher reward. So in that case, guys, if Shiba Inu Coin simply moves one-to-one, it would make no sense to own SHIB. You should just own Bitcoin. But if you take a look at the meme coins, right? Meme coins in general far outpacing any of the gains that we saw in Bitcoin. All of these, except for really SHIB and Doge, are above that 6% weekly gain. So, crash course, they took the 25x gain that Bitcoin is expected to achieve in the next 5 years, and they added that to Shiba Inu Coin. If Shiba Inu Coin 25x's, you're gonna make it's gonna be 37,000 points per coin. Frank, the weekend drove the grandkids to Blytheville, Arkansas to their mom, got back 10:30 last night, missed group text from Saturday, Friday night, coworker, ooh, dang, man. Yeah, that is, it's pretty heavy, Frank. That is pretty heavy, man. And I'll say this, man, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. Right? There's a lot of evil, there's a lot of hate, there's a lot of nonsense, you know. I feel blessed to have a very good group of friends, a strong group of friends. And I also feel blessed to have a great group of people online as well, man. I know the numbers are low right now, 14 people in this live stream. But dude, you look at some of the other groups out there on the internet, man. And I often think about the crap that Ape Father deals with too, and the fact that so many people just talk so much crap to that guy and speak such negativity into his life that it's ridiculous. And you guys are the best of the best, man. So yeah, Frank's right. Check up on your people. Tell the people you love that you love them. All that good stuff. But yeah, that's terrible, Frank. Remember Housecoin, bought in at 002, doing pretty well. Dubsad is another good one, been following since 11,000. Yeah, you know what else is bouncing back pretty nice over the last couple of weeks? Mother's doing a very good job. I was buying like crazy between 0.3 cents in 0.6 cents. And it's back up to, well, it hit 2 cents today. Fell back down to 1.6 cents. As the market is pulling back, but stupid volatility. $93,500 Bitcoin was at 95.5 earlier. Dude, if these people could just keep it going for any length of time, man, these gains would be phenomenal. But yeah, Mother actually doing pretty well. 1.6 cents. $1.6, very nice gains over the last maybe week and a half, 2 weeks here. Rallying up to 2.2 cents, back down to 1.6 cents right now. Heavy volume as well. So volatility from the overall market causing a lot of volatility in Mother right here. But dude was doing like $50,000 a day. Now it's doing $1.3 million a day in volume there. And the immigrant issue in Ireland, it was horrible. Couldn't get away from it. Almost forgot how big America is. Idaho is definitely a trip. You know, I've never been to Idaho in my entire life. But man, it's really wild to consider how big the states are, let alone the entire United States. Yeah, for real. Holy moly, 3 years. Bro fam is the best fam. Timmy, thank you very much for the member chat. 3 years of bro, man. I absolutely love it, and thank you very much for keeping that green name. A lot of the green names have dwindled over the last couple of months, so thank you guys very much if you keep those icons, if you keep those green names. Way to go, Tim. Heck yeah, we're farming. Not as bad as Molinado, man. Not as bad as Molinado. You still would have lost all your money if you held farming, but you would have lost more money in Molinado. Farmy is sitting at $1.75 after some recent splits. Farmy also never goes up. It only ever goes down. Look at this loss here. This daily gap down from 670 to 280. Man, absolute tragedy there. And then, of course, they had a 1 for 12 split. Oh, boy. Well, at least you would have only lost $23,000 a share since 2018. You know what I mean? You would have only lost $23,000 a share. Molinado since 2018. I don't have it on here. You would have lost probably 23 million, 230 million. Since 2018, 90 million. 90 billion. Dude, why is nobody investigating this? This idiot. Dude, one share would have wiped out the entire United States GDP. What? Shares were $13 trillion 10 years ago. If the United States would have bought one share 10 years ago, we'd be bankrupt. One share. This dude has bankrupted the entire United States multiple times over. And yet, they still allow him to run this company. What? Dude, that is beyond phenomenal. That guy has lost $13 trillion a share over the last 10 years. And yet people continue to invest in that company. Oh my God. Mother's insane. Apparently, there's an announcement coming this week. Could pump it more. Oh, wait. I like it. Crypto Muser, man. I gotta say, I see you out on X. You want a dude to pump your coin, man. Crypto Muser is the way to go. This dude is very active in the Mother community. I absolutely love it. We got to get it back up above 2 cents, man. Let's go back up to 20 cents. I was looking at the chart earlier today, and this is the longest, right? This is the longest sustained gain that Mother has had in the last year that it's existed, or in the entire year that it's existed. So this is very strong price performance. Mother has never strung together like 2 full weeks, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Mother's never strung together 12 days of gains. Could be 13 if it just gets slightly back up. Another 10% would take it to a 13-day streak. Never had a 13-day streak. Best streak was probably in like a 4-day streak of gains that it ever had. 1, 2, 3, 4 when it launched. I don't even know if it strung together 4 full days. Maybe right here. 1, 2, 3, 5 days of gains. So this is phenomenal price action that Mother's been having as the crypto market is rebounding. But dude, it only took a week to go from the price level that we're at right here, 2 cents, all the way up to 25 cents. So if it hits it again, man, if things gotta stay hot though. The entire market right now is so weird. Everybody's sitting straight up and down. It like 51 greed, 51 neutrality, whatever you're looking at. That any move to the upside, okay, people start to get a little excited. Any move to the downside, okay, people start to panic sell. They get way too crazy, and you know, they think the world is going to come crashing down again. So people are on edge. They're biting their nails. They're nervous, and we need Bitcoin to show us some strength here. Otherwise, people are going to panic the way that they are. But yeah, dude, next week, end of this week, this weekend, you could be back up to 25 cents, which would be phenomenal. Tim, I live in Indianapolis. I wake up at 4:30 because it's quiet and peaceful. Just was in Mississippi and realized it's way more quiet and way more peaceful. Yeah, it could be, man. It's not about how many people, it's about the right people, Clay, bro. Something I understand 1 week, then stuck back on, trying to get everybody involved. It is true, man. It is true. Chris, and I don't know if you guys have ever taken one of those strengths test, but Relator. I to be completely honest with you, not in terms of YouTube, right? In terms of YouTube, I'd rather have 17,000 people in here. I mean, it means more money, it means more views, like that aspect of it. I would much rather have 17,000 people than 17 people in the live stream, or 17,000 views or 17 million views on a video as opposed to 17. But in terms of like actual relationships or whatever, I've got Relator as one of my strengths, which means that I don't care about the quantity of friendships. I much prefer the quality of friendships and relationships. So yeah, dude, I completely get that. But YouTube, I'd rather have 17 million views than 17 views. I just want that to be very clear. It is better. Quantity is better over quality when it comes to the amount of views. Not big on Forex trading, but with China devaluating its currency, is there a way to make some American money on it? I don't even know if you can invest versus the Chinese yuan or won or however you say it in terms of Forex trading. But yes, there would be plenty of ways that you could leverage currency valuation and devaluation. Now, specifically speaking against China, I don't know. You may have to get a little bit more creative and say, okay, if China's devaluing their currency, what does that mean for the American dollar? And if that means that the American dollar is going to go down in value because people are going to be investing more or buying more Chinese yuan, then you could easily go out there and sell the dollar against the euro, or sell the dollar against the Japanese yen, or sell the dollar against any cryptocurrency or any currency that you would want to sell the dollar against. As a matter of fact, I don't think that you even need like a Forex account anymore. I'm pretty sure that you can trade currency on crypto.com. I'm pretty sure that you can trade currency on Webull now. I'm pretty sure you could trade like fiat currency in a lot of different places. So, yeah, I actually traded Forex for quite a while. So I got a decent understanding of the pairs and all of that. You kind of just got to be a little bit careful trading Forex, man, because everything is leveraged like crazy. So very similar to, 100x leverage trades. You could bust your margin very quickly and be kicked out of the trade. So either time it 100% correct or go in there with a very small amount because you don't want to get margin called. It's not me doing the pumping. The mother community. No. Crypto. I know it's not you doing the pumping. If it was, I would tell you to keep doing it. But I definitely see you extremely active in the mother community. And I love it, dude. I love it. It's not like a weird... it's not like a weird shilling either, man. It's just an excitement, making sure that all these people that are out there kind of baiting you into posting or commenting on their posts, which token's gonna, which token should I 100x? I'll tell you right now, nobody is able to go out there and 10x Mother or 100x Mother on their own. I actually like Mother much more than I do some of these other meme coins because of the size of the liquidity pool. Dude, let's just look at it, right? Please, I don't even know what this token is. 1.2. So not a bad liquidity pool there. But something like this one, up 875% today. It's only got a $100,000 liquidity pool. If you go out and buy $10,000 worth of, what is this? LOL token, you're going to have a 20% move in the overall price on a $10,000 purchase. You're going to move the price 20%. If you go to sell it, you're going to decline the price by 20%. So it's a very small liquidity pool. When you look at something like Mother, right, and it's got a $1.9 million liquidity pool, dude, you can go out with 10 grand and have a very minimal impact, maybe 1-2% on the overall price, which is phenomenal. Okay, so I know it's not you pumping, or these people that say they're gonna 100x the meme coin, they're gonna come out and buy Mother and 100x it. Dude, they'd probably have to come in with, I don't know, man, $5 million, $10 million, maybe more, to 100x the price. Because I'm pretty sure it had about $5 million to $6 million in it when it was at 15 to 20 cents. So if they were gonna 100x it, so that's a 10x, dude, they might even need 10 to 20 million dollars to 100x it from these levels, or more. It might need like 20 to 30 million dollars to 100x the price. That's a lot of money. Clearly people could do it, but none of these guys that post on X are gonna go out and drop $30 million on Mother. They're not gonna do it, man. Howdy, Clay Bro. I'm surprised you're not on Rumble. It's been popping over there. Yeah, buy me a nanner. I don't know. Maybe I could dual stream or something on it. 18 views. Maybe I could just move over to Rumble. Chris, I was heading to the Dakotas and ended up buying a small potato farm in Idaho. So quiet, you can hear the spuds grow. Dang, dude, that does sound very quiet, but it might be possible. Good morning, Gen G. Glad to have you. I was watching a TikTok video, and it was saying to get rid of our country debt, just pass it down to one guy and ruin his life forever. Oh, jeez. That's not a bad idea, man. It's not a bad idea. But I think in order to pass it down like that, don't you have to essentially declare bankruptcy? I think that would be the equivalent of the United States declaring bankruptcy, right? Erasing our debt like that. I don't know if you could have countries. I think you'd ruin your credit rating if you did that. I don't think that China and I don't think these other countries would be borrowing any money. Not a bad idea though, but I do think it would ruin our credit rating. And it's very interesting to me, right? Because me as an individual, I don't really care what my credit score is. If I'm going to buy something, I'm going to buy it with money that I have, right? If I don't have the money, I'm going to have to work for it. I don't know, I'm just going to defer the pleasure of having said item. So, like, I get that understanding as an individual. But then I also look at a lot of other countries out there. And, you know, you can go, I've traveled to Greece before, I've traveled to Jamaica before. You can go to some of these places that should be like some of the most luxurious places on the planet. They've got some of the best views, and you know, you wake up, you look out over the mountainside, over the cliff's edge in Santorini, Greece, or Santorini, I don't even know if it's part of Greece, but you look out and it's like, you know, billion-dollar views, right? But then you turn around and you're not looking at the ocean and you're looking at trash in the streets, graffiti on the side of the buildings, and it's like, what is going on, man? Or you go to Jamaica, and if you're not on the resort, it's like, holy crap, dude. I can't walk around here at night by myself. I might end up dead. So it's like, why? Why are these places that should have the best views, you know, some of the best resources in the world, seemingly so poor? And then I compare it to the United States, right? Sure, we had a wonderful industrial revolution. There's a lot of things that we create. There's a lot of things that we can manufacture, all of that stuff. But, dude, all of our wealth is a mirage, man. All of the wealth of the United States is a mirage. We're $39 trillion in debt. None of it is real. Like, none of the wealth that we have is real. And then it makes me think, okay, would I rather have, and this is the hard part, right? A seemingly wealthy mirage, or would I rather live in some like little shack, it's oceanside in Jamaica, where you got to worry about, you know, I'm not saying like people in Jamaica are gonna rob you, but dude, it's like pretty hard up down there because those people don't have any money. So, dude, everything is a mirage. The United States is built, man, and it's all built on debt. None of it actually exists. None of this wealth actually exists. It's crazy, man. I'd probably rather take the mirage than I'd probably rather live in the Matrix, as they say, than escape the Matrix. Easiest way to erase U.S. national debt: tell everyone we owe to fight us for it. Yes, that would be a very easy way to potentially escape the debt, but they'd never lend to us again. That's the problem. If they stop lending to us, man, if they stop fueling the fire of this wealth mirage that we have created, I don't know if we would be any different than we were in 1776 with people living in log cabins and so on. And this is not to sound like bad, right? And you guys may be different because you're much more hyper-focused on finance than probably 99% of the rest of the United States. And you don't have to answer this. You can leave it rhetorical. But if you did not get a loan from the bank to buy your house, okay, would you have your house right now? You know what I mean? Or would it be a smaller house? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure some of you guys could afford to go out here and then buy your house or whatever. But if you weren't propped up by debt, what would things look like? I know we wouldn't be in log cabins, right? But I think that everybody would live a much more modest life than they're living right now. So I think about that quite often, right? As much as some of those other guys like to think about the fall of the Roman Empire, I often think about what it would look like if this world was not a mirage. My mom did tell me, though, to forget about the older generation and focus on the younger ones. It was about the robots taking our jobs, but we have to work debate. Hey, Chris, let me tell you this, okay? Let's talk about that for 2 seconds as well. Because I want to, don't let me forget it. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to recognize Buy Me a Nana real quick. Buy Me a Nana! Thank you very much for the super chat. Rumble's a lot like YouTube, but without the shadow bans for political talk, and they don't fund the commies. Very good. But the only, like, I would not mind essentially dual streaming or something like that. Buy Me a Nana. I don't think that I necessarily would even want to, focus on political rage bait and all of that stuff. I mean, you guys kind of understand my political stance and stuff like that. I really don't know if there's a win-win scenario where you just come out and, like a lot of these guys, dude, Salty Cracker and some of these other guys that just straight up say what they want to say and all of that. I could still be a little bit respectful of, towing the line or whatever, because I don't really want to have political debates anyway on here and make everybody mad with everything they say. But what's the viewership like on Rumble? Because I've never really watched anything on Rumble. I imagine multiples of people watch YouTube over at Rumble. But I could be wrong. People might be getting fed up with YouTube, and people might be happily moving over to Rumble for viewership as well. So if you got any insight on that, man, let me know. But I do want to say this, right? Talk about the chill. Forget about the older generation. Yeah, do it. Let's talk about the younger generation for a second. I saw some posts on X talking about the fact that, 11% of kids in certain communities can read, okay? And I looked into it a little bit more. It's read at their grade level. It's not just that they're illiterate, but it's read at their grade level. And I talked to my sister. My sister's always taught. I don't know why she chooses to do it, but she's always taught at these, let's just call them lower income school systems. And these kids got hard lives, man. Parents pretty much suck, right? And if their parents don't suck, they're struggling really hard, which is fine. The majority of them, their parents suck. Okay, I'm just gonna say it the way that it is. Their parents do suck. Okay, they probably don't deserve to have the kids that they have, but they got them anyway. If we are raising the next generation of kids and only 11% of them can read, and now that's reading proficiency, okay? That's reading at their grade level. But dude, if the parents now don't care to help their kids, teachers can only do so much, I get that. And these teachers do have a very large responsibility on their hands. But if these kids are unwilling to learn and their parents don't care if they learn or not, what the heck do you think these kids are going to turn into when they have kids? And that's probably only 10, 15 years down the road, man, that these kids are going to have kids. If 11% of them can read and they start to have kids and they couldn't have cared less about their education, what are they going to do as parents? Dude, you want to talk about the next generation? It is seemingly screwed, man. I don't know how to fix it. I told my sister, I said, develop a plan to fix this, and I'll implement it. Because we can't have a nation. We're going to fail as a civilization if we've got 11% of the kids that can read going out and having kids, and then that 11% is only going to have 11% of their kids able to read. That means 1% of kids, guys, 10, 15 years down the road, 1 out of 100 kids is going to be able to read. I mean, dude, you're beyond screwed, right? So, yeah, Chris, talk to your mom about that one, man. We're going down a pretty narrow path there. Timmy, thank you very much for the super chat. Tim says, that's how Ireland was. Absolutely gorgeous. Then you go into a major city and it's a third world scene. If it clears up, I'll go back. But the self-defense laws there, crap. I'll visit my place there. Not staying for good, though. Yeah, Tim, it's beyond my comprehension, man. Right? It truly is. You've got some of these locations that should be like the movies, right? You go to the cliffside. You got a movie scene, the cliffside of Ireland. It's one of the most beautiful sceneries that you could ever see in your entire life. And I've never been to Ireland, right? I've seen the movies and stuff, but been to Santorini, been to Jamaica and all that. And then, dude, you turn around, and it's like, where am I at? I mean, I'd rather go to the inner city here and just say what's up to everybody I pass on the street before you even feel comfortable in another country, dude. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. JB, is Pokemon coming to Web3, man? Because I have played Pokemon Unite every single night for like the last 4 months, man. I'm like into Pokemon right now. Is Pokemon coming to Web3? Iggy's been live streaming on Rumble in support of her Motherland Casino, which should be launching soon. Hopefully, burns are coming too. Dude, tell her, hey, Crypto, tell her I'll live stream with her if she wants to live stream. I've seen some of her clips. Yeah, I get it. What she's going for. Let's put it this way. I've seen some of the clips of her girls. I've never actually seen her live stream, so tell her I'll join her live stream, man. I've seen smaller creators do well with consistency. I think you should try to dual stream. You're already making videos and go, yeah. I'll put it this way. It's very difficult for me right now to make additional content. So if I could like repurpose my current content, either dual stream or dual post or whatever, okay. But to make additional content, very difficult. Okay, bros, gotta run. Be safe. Be safe. Stay positive. Alien Head, you as well, man. Thank you very much for being in here. Especially that used to be misunderstood because people don't take the time. Chris, good deal, man. I hear you. People just don't make the time to have conversations, build character, perspective these days. No, they don't. Timmy, thank you very much for the super chat. Tim says, I watched the movie Idiocracy. It's happening in real life. I watched the movie Idiocracy probably when it first came out on DVD. Whenever that was, probably 20 years ago, and we're not quite there yet, but yeah, dude, if we got 1 or 2 more generations, we're there, man. We're there at that 1% literacy rate in a very short period of time, man. But Idiocracy was a pretty funny movie. We're all programmed. Forget the world. To see the world from a cabin with three dirty windows. Most people are okay with the view and don't care if there's something outside. That's true, man. We have to fight through every society for the front door or break a window. You are right, man. You are right. And I wish that people just cared a little bit more. Sometimes I care too much, and then I think, my gosh, dude, if these people don't even care about their own lives, what the heck do I care about them for? I don't know what's right, Like, why do I care if these kids get educated if them and their parents don't even care that they get educated? But then I know as soon as I stop caring about it, nobody's going to care about it. And then it's utter destruction, so I don't know the right answer, man. Like, if them and their parents don't even care that they're educated, why the heck do I care? Let them fail. But then it's like, dude, if I let them fail, everything fails. John J, thank you for the super chat. John J says, hello, all bros. Guess who's back? Back again. John J's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? John Jay's back. John Jay, man, thank you very much for being back. Pokemon is stealth, coming to Web 3 with badges through SUI, probably expanding after that. Really? Like gym badges? Dude, how do I get gym badges, man? I want some badges. Dude, yeah. So I'm going to buy some more SUI. All right. I can do it. Clay, check out stock BTI. You will see tomorrow. See you tomorrow, my friend. BTI. Let's look at BTI. There's a monthly graph, by the way. This is the reverse Mullen Auto. 14 cents in 1980. My gosh, dude. This is crazy. The lowest that it ever was the month that it was IPO'd. Think about that. There's essentially no point in time where you would have bought this stock and lost money. Crazy. And about to break out of the major all-time high level of resistance that it set back in 2017. Phenomenal graph, man. Phenomenal graph. And breaking that resistance. It could actually be a good time to buy. That was a monthly graph you guys are looking at, by the way. It's done nothing but go up on the month. Don't curl over, Bitcoin and Shiba Inu Coin. We need you guys to go back to the upside, please. And thank you. Have you seen the Bitcoin and M2 comparison or the Bitcoin and Tether dominance correlation? Not in the last, 2 weeks. Crypto Boaty? Not in the last, 2 weeks. But yes, I have. Clay, I need you to create a Rumble with your likeness and repost your videos, and I can get credit for them, and you can buy me off. Only joking, pal. I don't even know what it means, man. I mean, you could get credit for it. Yeah. You mean get monetized on Rumble? Would I have to build a following to get monetized, or can they just say oh, this guy's got 100,000 on YouTube, we can insta monetize him? How does that work? It's a healthy chart. Yeah, that was a very healthy chart. Hey, Wayne I haven't seen Wayne in here in a long time. It's easier to make money in stocks right now than crypto. Great deals going on right now. Yeah, there's great deals across the board going on. Everything has been beaten down like crazy. That's the best part of being old. Busting my butt to improve our society just long enough to be gone before it actually goes. Yeah. Nope. It won't, Tim. It won't, because you guys got guys like me. They're gonna say absolutely not. I'm not letting it fail. You don't care if your kids get educated. I care if your kids get educated. So stop being dumb and make sure your kids learn something. I think in a sense, I know 100% I hate ignorance is bliss, so if the price of intelligence is happiness, then okay. But we all want to be happy for everyone's ignorance is almost unbearable. Yeah, Chris, it's a very interesting way to put it, man. And to be honest with you, I don't think that ignorance is bliss, man. I really don't. We want gains. We want gains. Jen needs vacation. Jen, you're going to get your vacation. Okay? You're going to get your vacation. Bitcoin's going to curl back up. It's double bottoming down here, triple bottoming down here at the $93,000 level. It's going to turn back around. It's going to end the day at 96,000. Solana's going to be at 155. Ethereum's going to be at 1850. We're moving back to the upside. And Trump's going to finish the day at $16 per coin. Mother's going to be at 1.9 cents. And then tomorrow, the rally begins as Bitcoin breaks that 95, goes back up to 100, and then we are sitting on solid ground. We've got those gains, Gen G. My career is in retail. Biggest problem is people don't read. They ask questions, which is good, but then they don't retain the information. Is it some sort of an attention span problem, right? Because if I'm asking a question and I don't really care, I'm probably not going to ask the question to begin with, but yeah, if I'm asking a question, I probably care about it. But there's some stuff that I don't care to retain either, man. I don't want to cloud my mind with a bunch of crap. So there's some stuff that I will just, But if I actually care about something, I'm retaining it. So I think that these people can retain what they learn. It's like an apathy problem. It's got to be. Shiba Inu buy car. You can buy a car? Cartoon fan Hindi? Or you're saying that you should be buying Shiba Inu coin right now? Hood friggin' should have just answered with this. But the problem is no one wants to use a magnet to get the needle. They'd rather be paid by the hour. And to be honest with you, Chris, I almost think we're getting to the point where they don't even want to be paid by the hour. They don't even want to look for the needle in the haystack. They want to be paid to sit and let the needle stay in the haystack, man. I don't even think they care to get it out of there. It's crazy, isn't it? Ignorance is complacency. Yeah, Caesar, that might be a little bit better than ignorance is bliss. Same thing with people tolerate things and confuse it with accepting it. Yeah, 100%, man. 100%. It's very weird to me, and hopefully it changes. I don't know. You need a catalyst to change it, though. All right? You need a catalyst for people to want to make that change, and they have to want to make it themselves. You can inspire change, and maybe that's the only thing that we can really do, but people have to want it themselves. You definitely can't make them change. You can simply inspire them to want to make that change, which is interesting. Maybe I should tell that to my sister, and she could take that approach with things. It's kind of eye-opening, right? You can't make somebody change, but you can certainly inspire them to make that change. So the question becomes, how do you inspire them to make that change? You got to figure that part out. And if you can figure out how to inspire them to want change, I believe that they will change because they have to want it. Yeah, that's interesting. How do you inspire somebody to want change? We're on the right track. Now it's becoming a little bit more psychology than anything else. How do I do this stands for do this for me. Yeah, exactly, Caesar. And they don't care to learn it when you do it for them. It's a fact, man. Problem is empathy is confused with apathy, that everyone is special, everyone is equal. You have to bust your butt to be special. Yeah, man, I agree with that. Dude, we weren't all created equal. If every part of your body was created equal, you'd be a ball, right? You just roll around everywhere. But you got hands, man. You got legs. You got feet. You got arms. You got eyes and ears. Everybody plays a different role, just the same as every part of your body plays a different role. You need people acting different, but maybe all in one accord, and you can achieve anything, right? If everything was equal, we'd just all be a ball rolling around, doing absolutely nothing. Yeah. SHIB only. No, I can't go SHIB only, Raymond. Gotta diversify, man. Gotta diversify. Everything I just said is a why. I had a quarter-life crisis in my early 20s once I realized how people are. I don't know if I ever had a quarter-life crisis, and I don't want one, man. I don't want one. We gotta figure it out, though, Chris. And you know what? I think it starts with very small groups, man. I think it starts with very small groups. Might even just start with your family. If you don't have family, maybe it just starts with your friends. You know? Not everybody's in a position to lead a a school full of 180 kids. So maybe it starts local. Inspire some change in your family. Inspire some change in your friends. You make them better. They make their family and friends better. That's gotta be the answer, man. That's gotta be the answer. You know, and maybe even a kid. You inspire a kid to be a little bit better, and he takes it home, and now all of a sudden his mom's got something to inspire her. There's an answer for it. People can get on the same frequency at a sporting event or after a major attack, but not yet. They need some sort of a catalyst, man. And it's very short-lived, usually, right? You can be inspired, but unless that inspiration sort of breeds change, that's just empty inspiration. You go to a sporting event, great. You guys are cheering your team on for 2 hours, and then you go home. Everything's back to normal. You can, like you said, crisis or something happens. Everybody bands together for a few minutes, and then back to normal. Things are over with. Only in charge of ourselves. Live well as an example, and others to follow. Yeah, I think that's about all you can do. Buy me a nanner. I think that's about all you can do, man. And if it's all you can do, we should be doing it. Every single one of us, dude. The 26 people in here, you know, okay, maybe I could talk to 26 people. And if I can inspire change in 26 people, or cause a little spark in 26 people, you guys take that back to everybody, you know, and now all of a sudden 26,000 people are trying to do better, are trying to do the best that they can, not even just better, just the best that they can, man. It turns into something. You can always do more. Pudgy, 100% agree, man. If you look at that in a negative light, though, okay? Somebody that looks at that in a negative light will say, oh, I could have done more. I'm bad. There was more that I could have done. I did bad. You got to look at that as glass half full, though, man. So if you look at that, if you're a weak-minded person, too, I could have done more. I didn't do enough. I'm not good enough because I didn't do more. So, very good talk. Guys, it is 1 o'clock. Get your name in the chat right now. We'll do some shout-outs. Take this throughout your, what day is today? Monday? Take this throughout your Monday. It is going to be a great week. We're going to start it off right. We're going to inspire change. We're going to see that change, and this world is going to be a better place. And the whole time, we're going to be making money in crypto as well. Let's do these shout-outs, guys. We will be back. My friend helped me make a cool website for me. I'm literally doing my token. I'm attacking my X account and website, too. Hey, very nice, Brian. Keep it up, man. You got to stay focused. It's not going to be easy, but things do get better during a bull market. Gen G, have a great one. We got Caesar, man. Chris, have a great one. Caesar, Tim, see you later. Raymond, Chris, Rodney, Chris, buy me a nanner. Pudgy, Caesar, Brian, buy me. Gen G, Gorilla, Chris, buy me. Gen G, all of you guys. You know what time it is. You want to say it with me, Tim? Say it with me. Till the next time. Hope that each and every one of you have an awesome day.